After last night's opening goal against Ghana, Ronaldo has now scored at 5 consecutive World Cup. So in today's episode, we will be discussing and analyzing the game between Portugal and Ghana. Sandeep, Portugal took the lead of 2 goals. They were eventually winning 3-1, but it was spectacular how Ghana came deep in the final stages. That showed that they are capable of delivering in the final third. So do you think that sides like Ghana should be more ruthless and should attack more initially in the game rather than after conceding?
I think the point, like you were saying, is when do they decide that? The frustration is that. I mean, do you decide after you're 2-0 down? Because Portugal were taking their chances. It wasn't that they were not taking their chances. But Ghana, honestly, and the other African sides are refusing to take their chances. When I say refusing, I mean, they're not moving up the way they should be moving up normally. I mean, even in the African Cup, you see them much more aggressive. You see them play with a lot of flair. The flair is here, but you leave it late means you're not going to get it. The defenses are very solid. These are World Cup sides. These are not ordinary sides here and there. They know how to defend. They know how to get those goals. But 5 World Cups, 5 goals for Ronaldo. I think that is the headline, though that should not be the headline. And I think Portugal has a problem with that. The other teams will figure it out. And once you have the ego getting ahead of the player, getting ahead of the nation, then that's a separate story, which I don't think you probably want to hear it. But yeah, I mean, Ronaldo is a scorer, but Ronaldo is taking too much of the limelight away from the other players. It's another matter that he scores and the team came back. Then suddenly they were all gelling. So I think that was a pressure point. That gets released. Okay, your main man has got the goal. His record is there now, and he can go and do his jumps up and down or whatever. And then suddenly you see a little more free play. From the Portuguese side. How much more can they play freely is also a big question going into the next games.
Talking about Bruno Fernandes, he delivered 2 sharp passes into the final third, which allowed Portugal to score the last 2 goals. But what I feel is Bruno is better without Ronaldo. That's a debate that's been going on for long. But he gets that space in the final third to exploit. And when Ronaldo is there, he's just bounded. He just doesn't play free-flowing football. So I feel that Portugal is better off without Ronaldo.
It is. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that. Most coaches have also been saying that. I mean, that debate is coming in from Man United itself. But Bruno, whatever he plays for United, you don't see him playing here. And I think the presence of one man completely overshadows a lot of things out there. Of course, when you watch it on TV rather than watching it from a stadium, you get a very different view, because irrespective of whatever Ronaldo does or doesn't do, the camera is on him. If Bruno is giving him a pass, then it's about how Ronaldo takes that ball and moves in, and the whole movement belongs to him. I think each of these players understand that. At the same time, they also understand, I think when he scored, the way the substitutes reacted, they were all, coming up very happy, excited. But one thing stands out for me is also how the coach reacted, because he suddenly went very dejected, he suddenly went very glum. I think he foresees a lot of problems. He foresees a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo rather than Portugal out here. So that is something that I don't know. I mean, like, how do you devise a system where the others can fit into your main player? Most of the other teams don't have this issue. And this is a massively big problem that they're going to face going forward. So I don't know if in your experience, do you remember any teams that have one big star and the team needs to play around that star? It happens in the clubs, of course. It's happened when he was with Real Madrid. It always happened there. It's also happened when he went to Italy.
But for that, the player needs to be in his prime, and that's not the case here.
Yeah, I mean, but the big question is then what do you do? I mean, what does the management do? Either they can put him on the bench, and I don't think that's going to be really good news for Portugal, because he's going to react the same way he's reacted with Man United, and nobody wants that. And I think the coach himself realizes it. You're coming in from a massive controversy, and most of the teams are now going to exploit that particular thing. How do they exploit it? How do they figure out this, that you need to keep Ronaldo away and make him sweat, make him play around more for the ball, in which he's going to get irritated? that he's not getting the ball. I mean, most of the last United matches that he played, he had this big problem that why is the ball not coming to me? And I think out here, the team doesn't want that. So keep giving him whatever he wants in a way, as a footballer. I'm not saying in any other way that you have to really play him. But this is a big problem that will happen going forward, for sure. And Bruno needs to come out of it. I don't know how he can unleash himself without even thinking there's a Cristiano Ronaldo out there. But he has the capacity, he has the skill. He's a wonderful player, and if Portugal needs to go ahead in this tournament, believe me, it's not because of Ronaldo, it is because of Bruno.
And I was really happy when I saw Felix and Ronaldo both in the starting lineup. That was a really interesting formation for me, which was 4-1-2-1-2, I guess. So what Felix did is he scored the crucial goal, the second one, and that was a phenomenal finish. The way he finished that. So Felix is more clinical than Ronaldo at this point in time, and with Felix, Portugal can do wonders. Also coming to sides like Ghana, how can African sides propel at this World Cup? Their main problem is finishing in the final third. They have been good at the back, their structure is good, their passing is good, but how can they deliver in the final third?
I think most of these sides, I mean, if you really look at it, they're all built around midfield and defenses. And historically, you look at the goalkeepers, they have always been very good. Africa has produced some of the best keepers, but they don't win World Cups. They may save you in a penalty situation. They may save you when it's, a shootout. They may save during a game. They may make a couple of saves that actually gives you that momentum. It takes the match away from the rest. But what will win you the match is how your midfield is going to combine with your strikers. In this point of time, irrespective of whichever African side, if you had Mane, Senegal would have been unstoppable because he's the kind of a guy who drives the team. I don't see much happening in terms of Cameroon, Ghana, Senegal as to how can they deliver, which is goals. It's going to be a big, massive problem for them. Like you said, 2-0 up, and then they come back. Then they start creating why. The question is, are you so afraid that you might concede early on? It should not be the case because you have a solid midfield out there. You have a defensive wall that's already been tried and tested through the game, and you have stood up. Why not go for the goals? Because if you're not going to go for the goals, 0-0, 1-1 draws are not going to help you. At some point of time, those points are going to go away. I think that's the crucial part for most of the African sides here.
Certainly, goals are something which are needed to win the game, and that's what African sides need to do. They need to score goals. That's how they can emerge triumphant at this World Cup. The second round of the World Cup starts from today. You can watch the reviews and previews of all the matches on Sports 9 exclusively, and if you want to read the previews and reviews of all the matches, then you can visit our News 9 Live website. That's it from today. Thank you.